Hello and welcome back, FUD Nation. I'm Elio Trades, and today on FUD TV, we're going to be taking a deep dive on a coin that I'm very passionate about, excited about, and I believe will come to occupy one of the most important parts of the next generation of growth in the blockchain industry. That is decentralized exchange, and if you're looking right behind me, you will see AirSwap, AST.
AirSwap.
The reason why AirSwap could be huge is because they allow for a completely decentralized peer-to-peer trading of cryptocurrencies. If you've been hearing the news about different exchanges getting hacked, getting regulated, all that nonsense, well, AirSwap is the reason why that news might go all the way away soon. So we're gonna go deep, go very deep. So strap in, get ready, because today's FUD TV episode is all about AirSwap AST. So AirSwap calls themselves the engine of the new token economy. What does that even mean? Essentially, AirSwap is very simple. We're not gonna play this video, but essentially what AirSwap is gonna show in this video is that they enable peer-to-peer decentralized exchange of cryptocurrencies or virtual assets in general. So if I have a virtual asset, I can trade it with someone else with a virtual asset, much in the same way that we see on centralized exchanges, however, without the fees, without the hacking risks, and a bunch of other things. So we're gonna go through all of their value points, but essentially it boils down to the fact that they're secure, private, and fair. Centralized exchanges are subject to attacks, front-running, and abuse. So front-running is a way that people can sort of fix the order book to get ahead of and sort of drive prices up and down depending on how big orders that have not yet been filled are in the book. And there's also different kinds of abuses. So entrusting third parties to hold your cryptographic assets is a significant risk to the token economy. And this is the concept of holding your coins on an exchange. Obviously, we've all heard about the Mt. Gox hack. We've all heard about the CoinCheck hack. And we constantly are hearing about the potential for Binance hacks. If Binance gets hacked, wow, that would be like another Mt. Gox. It would be really devastating to people. I know personally I carry like less than a 0.1 Bitcoin on the exchanges really at any time. If I'm doing bigger purchases, I'll move my coins on and then move them off. I know it's annoying, especially if you're a trader, but the reality is that keeping your coins on an exchange is just mad risky, yo. And like if you wake up to a news update that Binance is down because they might be being hit with a DDoS attack, there's nothing that's gonna make you feel better again until you see your funds there safe and secure, but you don't know if that moment's gonna actually happen. So, secondly, they have privacy. So the other thing about exchanges is, and centralized servers is that everything is very much so public. Everyone can see the big orders, the big trades, this and that. And so the ability to have a trading network that's not publicly visible would be very much so. Not all traders have a use for that. Not all traders care about that, but some traders really care about that. And imagine if you're an institutional trader and you don't want other institutions knowing the volume or the particular nature of all your trades and your currency moves. This is huge, especially for institutional players. And finally, fair. Designed from the ground up for a decentralized world, AirSwap is based on the swap protocol, a peer-to-peer protocol for trading Ethereum tokens. Many existing exchange designs suffer from front-running and race conditions, which means that it won't be as fair for every condition or every trader. So if you're able to eliminate that and do a direct peer-to-peer trading platform, you can create a little bit more of an equal trading plane where big whales, I know you've heard about whales manipulating the books, it'll be a little less easy for whales to do that in a private and one of these sort of more equalized fair marketplaces. So that's their goals. These are value points they're trying to deliver upon. And here's exactly how they're going to do it. And we're going to go into their team in a minute because they have a really amazing team, even more amazing advisors. But you might be asking, why am I trying to cover this coin? As we go over to the market cap here, we can see that it's only 22 cents here, and it's fallen from almost just under $2. It was like $1.98 or $1.99 or something like that, but it was really close to $2, and here we have it at just 22 cents here. So we know that this coin has a long way to go to work its way back up to where it was. And well, why would we believe that it's even going to do that? You know, why am I over here even covering this coin? And there's actually two pieces of news, two sort of movements from the AirSwap token project that I thought were worth talking about, were worth noting. One of those pieces of news rather, is that AirSwap showed that they were at Citi Bank doing a luncheon explaining how this AirSwap friction-free, fee-less trading environment could really be beneficial to institutional players like Citi Bank. And this is where I think people are going to see AirSwap really thrive, is that AirSwap doesn't just want to be like a website like Coinbase, although they will offer that capabilities. They want to be a solution for people like Citi Bank. So we're going to get to how that's going to work in just a second. But they are putting up this tweet that got me very excited. And then the second thing that got me excited was CryptoBobby is actually joining the AirSwap team. Now, if you don't know, and if you're a YouTuber or you follow YouTubers in the space, you'll know about CryptoBobby. He is a long-standing YouTuber in the space. He does a good job of giving pretty even-handed reviews on coins without getting too emotional. I do like his style of delivery, and I thought it was an interesting revelation that he's going now to work full-time advising and working at helping fit AirSwap with other up-and-coming technologies. And so this is really exciting, not only for fellow YouTubers like myself to see other YouTubers getting real legitimate opportunities in the industry that are not of their own making, but also to see that AirSwap is looking to really understanding how people are coming across information and recruiting people like CryptoBobby who are actually really useful at helping bridge and bring things together, you know, like he's going to be doing. He's going to be consulting, helping new upcoming companies and I'm guessing liquidity partners come and help use the AirSwap network or potential market makers use the network. So we're going to go into exactly how market makers, takers, and all that stuff is breaking down on the AirSwap network. But I just wanted to share why I'm making this video. It's not that I think AirSwap's going to moon tomorrow. It's that I saw some interesting moves. I see them now at Citi Bank. I see them recruiting a prominent YouTuber, and I believe that AirSwap will be making good news and getting their message out there through the likes of CryptoBobby and Citi Banks and all these cool things. So we're going to show you how their vision is going to come together here, in my opinion, how it looks to me like they're bringing their vision together over the course of the next few minutes. Our objective is to bring tokens everywhere. That means providing tools and services that make it easy for people to access the tokens they desire wherever they happen to be. Liquidity as provided by market makers, connectivity between traders, and reach by partner networks. So those are the components that they're going to use here. As you can see, they launched their token launcher on October 10th, and then they created a token trader, which they're about to, sort of unleash, and they've just sort of unleashed an alpha or I guess a beta of that. And then they're going to work up to a token marketplace in Q2, and then they're going to build out their partner network, which has already started, and we'll get to that in a second. They have their partner network, which means having multiple counterparties on the platform available through our dashboard and through partner properties. And they're able to have a network of liquidity. So they'll open up their indexer support to partners who wish to integrate into the decentralized token trading into their applications, which will allow for network reach. Essentially, the partner network will allow for people to plug in AirSwap token and that technology into their marketplaces. So anyone can go and trade on a marketplace, but they'll actually be plugging into the AirSwap network. So this is how they're going to enable their partners to create that reach. So it's not just about AirSwap being a place where you go to swap your tokens. It's about their underlying protocol and their technology powering the whole token swapping economy that will be maybe front-ended by Goldman Sachs or Wells Fargo or some other kind of institutional partner. That really is the crux of, I believe, their value proposition, is that they're going to power token swaps. They're going to power exchange of currency or virtual assets on all these other networks, all these other marketplaces, like through their partner network. So in filling that out a little bit, their partner network is essentially a network that drives many makers into many, they want to drive both market makers and takers into many markets. So they want to allow for this to have a network effect. You can see here in this visual that they have, a trader, which is essentially one market maker, someone who is going around creating a market by trading, buying, and selling, right? Then you have your marketplace, which has many different traders. And then you have your network, which has many different marketplaces. And this is just the evolution, right? Where you go from one buyer and seller to many buyers and sellers to many networks of buyers and sellers. And that's how you achieve a global reach of your network, a global reach of your marketplace. So progressing from one-to-one trades to many network is the original vision of the AirSwap roadmap. That's what this is all about. It's about getting to a big many marketplace solution where it's not about any single marketplace, any single localized trading economy. It's about linking them in a decentralized way. So the big news here is that 3 professional liquidity partners have signed on and that they'll be trading across 24 new tokens. And those tokens are ADT, AST, AVT, BAT, BCPT, BRD, CND, ELF, EOS, FUN, GNO. I'm not going to read them all, but essentially you see all the tokens down here, and these are the tokens that they'll be trading, but these partners have signed on to be anonymous. The reason why I believe that this partnership is going forth as an anonymous partnership is because I do believe that these are really big institutional partners that are trying out this technology. I mean, I know based on the team, which we're about to get to, but based on the team, I believe that this whole project is really targeting big institutional partners. As we can see, it's about housing marketplaces and linking marketplaces and making it totally friction-free and making it plug and play so that these big institutional partners can host these marketplaces very easily. So here are obviously the tokens that are going to be traded, and they're not disclosing who their liquidity partners are, but essentially the liquidity partners allow for liquidity to be put behind and issued out in each trade, so that if someone needs a swap of a coin that's not being offered, that coin can be swapped and the liquidity can be moved, having extra liquidity to back the system, essentially. As you can see in this vision of the partner network, we see many makers sending out these makes or these offers to many different apps. And then you have the many different takers that are plugged into all these different apps that can then access this index and actually take that bid. So you're seeing how now there's a plethora, there's like an ever-expanding tree of ways that your bid can go out. And the idea here is to create a network effect where all of a sudden this becomes the master network of tokenized trading, where all of a sudden it's very easy to constantly plug this in everywhere, and maybe even exchanges, centralized exchanges, are being plugged into AirSwap, and that way they can be taken and sort of indexed, and sort of those trades can happen even between a decentralized exchange potentially and a centralized exchange. It's not clear if that's possible yet, but I'd imagine that it is. So just quickly before we wrap this up, I want to go through the team. You can see here that Michael Oved is the leader of this team. He's a veteran algo trader, and he became big at this trading firm called Virtu. And he's a graduate of Carnegie Mellon, but he's essentially like an OG market maker, trader. He understands liquidity and the needs of a trading environment. And so he's kind of like a really great person to link to this world, because they really are going after institutional partners here. They're not going after necessarily us as singular traders, even though by extension they will be. They are going even more so after bigger trading houses and sort of institutional partners. So this is good because you see that Michael Oved definitely has experience in this world. Don Mosites is a really very, very experienced engineer. They have some Spotify people here. They have a bunch of big names, sort of interesting hires that I really liked. But really, of course, the biggest thing here is their advisors. Their advisors are probably of the best. This trio of advisors is one of the best trios of advisors I think I've ever seen on a blockchain project. We see Michael Novogratz here. He is one of the biggest sort of hedge fund managers. He's from Fortress. He's done a lot of different projects, and he came on as an advisor, which is clearly showing that they're trying to link up with a more traditional sort of Wall Street, more hedge fund type institutional partners. And partnering with someone like Michael Novogratz, or being advised by someone like Michael Novogratz, is one of the most amazing things you could do to end up realizing that goal. Secondly, they have Joseph Lubin. If you don't know who Joseph Lubin is, he was literally an OG daddy at Ethereum. He's one of the co-founders. And then he's also a founder and CEO of Consensus. So he's a legend in this space. And I can only assume that the access to talent and advice from Joseph Lubin and Michael Novogratz combined is amazing. Finally, we have Bill Tai, who's just a veteran entrepreneur and investor in the space. He's done a bunch of other cool stuff, as well as he's on the board of directors at Bitfury. If you don't know about Bitfury, they're a big sort of mining and technology company out of the Netherlands, I believe, or London. Regardless, this is an amazing, amazing group of OGs, pioneers in the space, and truly dot connectors, people that can open doors for them and really help connect the project with the partners and the technology and the talent that they'll need to carry out their vision. AirSwap is currently trading for 22 cents, and obviously the majority of this volume is happening on Binance, almost 65% of it, 66% of it. But, you know, I'm not really inclined to go to a centralized exchange for this. As we pop over to here, we can see that on trade.airswap.io, they actually have an alpha or a beta of their product going here that they've launched. And you can just sign in with your MetaMask or your Ledger, and you can go right ahead and start trading and pick up some AirSwap right from their decentralized exchange. So there's no need to go and make yourself known to Binance or any other centralized exchange. You can privately and securely go and pick up as much AST as you want from this AirSwap token trader. We hope you enjoyed today's review of AirSwap AST token, and if you did, don't be afraid to smash up that like button or comment below and let us know. Did you enjoy this review? Are you excited about AirSwap? Are you holding AirSwap? Do you care at all that CryptoBobby got hired? Do you care at all that they're reaching out now and making partnerships and sort of reaching out to these institutional partners like Citi Bank and showing that they're actually going to make good on their promises to bring in these institutional partners and show them the light of peer-to-peer exchange and how it can actually be friction-free and truly beneficial to their organizations? So this was really exciting to me because I'm passionate about decentralized exchange. I believe that it is the missing link in the crypto sort of armor here. If we're able to trade coins in a decentralized way and we have encryption on certain coins, then really the decentralized world can exist. It can exist without getting stepped on by the sort of powers that be in the centralized world, because exchanges have really been the place of the most vulnerability, the most security issues, and where the governments come in and sort of enforce regulation. How would the government have any clue who's bought Bitcoin if not for Coinbase? So if you're excited and you're as hyped up as we are about AirSwap AST, the Michael Novogratz, Michael Oved, lots of Michaels on this team. But anyway, the point is that there's a lot going on that makes us super hyped. And if you're hyped, comment, like, subscribe, and don't forget to turn on those bell notifications, because if you don't have the bell notification turned on, you just pretty much won't know when we're putting content out. We are so happy to have had you with us today on this very special episode of FUD TV. I'm Elio Trades, and we'll catch you very soon on another episode.